Have you noticed that you're not able to get into a full range of motion, whether it be your ankles, your hips/lower back, or even your shoulders in an overhead position? What if I told you there was a simple
Tools! Duct tape, zip ties, and gloves. I have to have my tools.
that you can use that would essentially help open up that range of motion and make you feel more efficient in your movements? Here is a handy dandy dowel. You can also use a broomstick to essentially get these movements done. Welcome everyone to the Hectic Performance Center.
With this first movement, we're gonna go into a doweled ankle glide. I'm setting the dowel right next to my pinky toe, and I'm gonna drive my knee essentially to the outside of that dowel. You'll notice it a little bit more when I switch sides later on, keeping my heel down at all times, just so that way I am working on opening up range of motion for that ankle. I like to go about 10 to 12 reps before switching sides, and you're gonna see this go fast forward. I have now switched sides, and I'm going to, again, keep my heel down on the floor. You can see the dowel is right by my pinky toe, and I'm driving that knee to the outside of the dowel. What I don't want to see is lifting that heel up, because you're creating a false sense of mobility through that ankle. This is a great drill if you notice that sitting down in the bottom of your squat is pretty troublesome, where you're not able to drive through that heel. Again, 10 to 12 reps is what I would suggest when it comes time to doing this particular movement. Our next movement here is our Dowel RDL. I have the dowel up against my head, shoulder blades, and lower back, and I'm just hinging or reaching my hips behind me, keeping that dowel still in place with those 3 points of contact, getting anywhere between 8 to 12 reps. Transitioning on, we're going to a dowel dislocator stretch. I like this drill just for opening up that range of motion in the shoulders, warming them up, getting them to feel ready, especially on a day where we're going to do any sort of overhead movement, or when we get our arms onto the bar for a back squat or front squat. I will go somewhere in the guidelines of 10 reps just to really get those shoulders nice and warmed up and mobile. Finally, we are going into our around the world. I like this drill just because it gets that lower back to mobilize a little bit, also still getting those shoulders to also mobilize. So we are working on keeping everything nice and loose in that lower back, getting some movement in the hips, just so everything feels pretty good before you go into that workout. As you can see, I went one way, now I'm switching over, going the other way. I obviously hit my ceiling, so that's why there was a little bit of a weird jolt. I will get somewhere between 8 and 10 reps for each side for the around the world.
And there you have it, everyone. An awesome, inexpensive tool that allows you to gain mobility and function in the ankles, in the hips, lower back, as well as those shoulder blades, to further enhance and make better efficiencies within some awesome movements such as your deadlift, your squat, or any sort of overhead motion. Something that doesn't cost much and can also make sure that you are getting an awesome workout when you are getting those sessions in. If you could please give this a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, as it allows me the opportunity to further enhance your everyday performance. And as always, everyone, stay healthy and live hectically.